What's up? Here with Jorie Aulston. Met him at the We Live event this weekend. He's out of Miami. He's a note investor. He's done a little bit of everything. He's been in real estate since what, 2007?
2007, yep.
2007. We're going to get a word for our sponsors, and when we get back, we're going to talk about note investing. We're going to do some cold calls. We're going to chop it up. We're going to talk about wholesaling. We're going to talk about the crash. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. Tune in. We're going to get a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back after this.
Propelio TV is sponsored by Noble Mortgage and Investments, CreativeCashFlow.com, and Lifeonaire.
Jorie, how's your time in Dallas been, man?
I love it down here, man. It's my second time coming to Dallas, but first time actually hanging out a little bit. I came before for a Cowboys game a few years ago.
Love it. You a Cowboys fan?
No, not at all. I'm a Steelers fan. I actually hate the Cowboys. My uncle's a diehard Cowboys fan. We're from Aliquippa, PA. Tony Dorsett is my best friend's uncle. So we kind of grew up, cheering on Tony Dorsett. But
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Cowboys haven't been relevant since they kicked the Steelers' ass in the Super Bowl. So I don't.
We've won 2 since then.
Yeah, well, okay. I guess bragging rights go to that. But so tell the people how you got started in real estate. I know that we chopped it up over the weekend. Had a really good time at the event. I don't know what you thought about it.
Yeah, we met at the Max Maxwell We Live 19 event. It was an awesome time. And I got to meet a ton of good people. I met Corey the first night outside. Me and my wife met him, and we talked for a long time, and I kind of told him my story. I got into real estate in 2007 in Michigan. I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I got my real estate license up there in 07. If you know anything about then, it was like good times. Like a month later, it crashed, So I got my market. I got my license, the market crashed, but I was actually set up pretty good because I was getting my license to become an investor. I wanted to do fix and flips. This was like the way it is now with HGTV. Every show's doing fix and flips. That's how it was then, the first time around. So we were watching those. I was reading books. Got my license. Went to a broker who specialized in REO properties. So that's bank owned foreclosures. So when the market crashed, it fell into my lap. It was a perfect opportunity.
So from up there in Michigan, are you from Michigan originally?
I'm from Pittsburgh. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Then I moved to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I met my wife on South Beach in Miami.
Right.
And she moved me to Michigan. I left Miami to Michigan because of her.
So the wife was already in the picture before you got into real estate. So she's been here for the whole come up. That's awesome.
Oh, she was there from the beginning.
That was the part of the story I missed over the weekend because you're also a football coach as well.
Yep, I coach football right now. I coach high school football. I'm a high school offensive coordinator. I've been doing that for 7 years. But yeah, I met my wife. When I met my wife, I was a nightclub promoter. That's awesome. Real estate wasn't even in the picture yet. I started studying about it during the time with her, and thankfully she had a job. And her job allowed me to study, read books and study until I was able to get my license.
That's it. And so when we were talking, you kind of knew you'd seen the interview that we did with Max, or that was how you got introduced.
That's how I got introduced. I saw the one with Max, and I saw you on Steve
Trains.
Real Estate Disruptors interview.
Guys, share this stream because that's. This is a huge part of real estate is connecting like this. So when we sat down on the couch, it seemed like it was late. I go to bed early every night. I got a daughter. Your daughter's the same age as mine. Stella's her name, right?
Stella's 6.
Yeah.
But then I have a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. So listen, 8 o'clock, we lock our door. Don't burn the house down. We're going to bed.
That's it. So it was late night, but we started talking, and one of the things that really impressed me about your business model was the note aspect of it. So you do a lot of stuff on the creative side of things to buy a property with somebody else's money, establish an owner finance note, and then wholesale that note out. Kind of explain that process because I'm butchering it right now.
Yeah, so basically we never even buy the property at all. So everything with me starts with wholesaling. So all my marketing is about wholesale marketing. We still do direct mail, a lot of it. We do cold calling. We do some social media. We do our care website, which drives leads. So everything we do starts with our wholesale marketing. Any house we get through our marketing, we look at it as either are we going to wholesale it, regular traditional wholesale, do seller financing to buy it ourselves, or can we find an end buyer who wants to buy with seller financing, then we can sell that note to another investor.
So you actually can purchase the property using the seller finance strategy, where you say, hey, I'm going to give you X number of dollars down, and a note, and you give me the property. Kind of explain that process to the people that might be new. I mean,
the one when I'm buying it for myself.
The one where you're buying it for yourself using owner financing.
So we've acquired many that way. I mean, that's honestly the only way we do it right now. Is we're buying homes using seller financing. Like we haven't talked to a bank in probably 4 or 5 years.
Right.
So for example, we just did a deal in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
But you live in Miami.
I live in Miami. Yes, I live in Miami.
So look, guys.
Yes, I'm a virtual wholesaler. I live in Miami. Most of my deals are done. I'm either in my home office or my beach office, in the sand on the beach.
That's it.
I don't even do deals in Miami right now. I do deals in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
That's awesome. So explain that. Explain that owner finance offer, because I keep interrupting you.
So a seller calls me back from our marketing from wholesaling. You know, he kind of go over the price and stuff with him, and you know, even sometimes if the price is tight, we might do owner finance and keep it ourselves if the numbers make sense as a rental. Right. Because just because you can't wholesale doesn't mean it's not a good deal.
That's it.
So this particular one, we got this guy to come down to 30 grand on a duplex, a 3-2 up top, a 2-1 on the bottom. He agreed to 30,000.
In Harrisburg.
Which is a good price for cash, but I offered him, you know, I'll give you 10% down, and then you finance the balance, which would be 27,000 over 5 years at 7% interest.
7. That's your first offer, 7.
My first offer was like 4%.
Okay.
It came up to 7 because he wanted to be around 535, 540 a month.
One of the things that I learned watching Propelio was the actual 0% offer. So I always start off with the equal payments, 180 equal payments, and then whenever they always object to 180, they don't realize the equal payment is an interest-free loan. So it's like we go 180, and they're like, "Oh no, that's too long." And it's like, "All right, 60." But we're getting, I mean, it's 100%.
Well, the reason why 180 wouldn't work, the guy's like 78.
Right. No. That's the same thing with us. Same thing with us.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's funny because, you know, it's like the way that you word that offer, it's not talking interest rate.
Exactly.
It's talking a monthly payment. So instead of at 180 it might be 500, at 60 it might be 1,000, right? A month. It's just that little bit of difference, but there's no interest. So that entire 1,000 goes to your principal pay down. That's the offer that, you know, I learned watching like this. So,
and I actually learned about that talking to you. I think somebody else more, because I mean I know about it, but I learned about how you guys do it all the time.
Oh, all the time.
Every offer, you know.
Every single offer. Like we make our cash offer, and then we make our equal payment offer, and then if they're sophisticated, we end up at 7% interest, just like you. So, I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just that's the negotiation to where you're gonna have. It's a compromise. You're gonna have to give something and get something. But as you go through that, it's, you know,
most sellers are worried about that payment. They don't care about interest. You know,
they don't.
It's that payment because they're getting rent, but they're sick of being a landlord.
That's it.
Right. So they already know they're going to less than a rent payment, but a lot of times it's more profit to them because they're not dealing with a bad tenant in and out and repairs, and you know, we pay taxes, we pay insurance. Like yesterday.
Hailstorm. I was like, yesterday, whenever that was going through, you were actually the first person that came to my mind. I was like, Jorie ain't never been to Texas. And now on one side of town, it's like literally smashing cars. And on the other side of town, people are playing in their yards with their kids.
And it didn't hit us, but the clouds came rolling through. But we're from Miami. So you understand, I mean, it can be raining right there. You getting wet and we're getting dry. So
that's crazy. I was like, man, all the poor people from the We Live event are getting a real introduction to Texas weather.
Well, funny thing, a couple people had asked us to come to some rooftop place with them last night. And I'm like, I'm not going to a rooftop because like hell's coming in. I'm going to my hotel room. So
that's pretty interesting. So when you get that offer across with this duplex, what's your exit strategy? After that, you buy it, you rent it, you own or finance it, and wrap the mortgage. What do you do?
So this one we're going to look for. So we want to keep that one.
Okay.
Either we want to keep it as a rental property, or we'll then go turn around and sell it on owner financing ourselves.
Okay.
So that one we decided to keep that one.
Awesome.
It made sense to keep. We rehabbed it. We actually closed on that one end of February.
Okay.
And we just got the top units done, already rented out at $650 a month.
It's awesome.
We're getting $600 a month for the bottom unit, and our payment's like $540.
Yeah, I'm about to say $1,200. Paid $30 for it. What is that? 4% deal? Somebody do the math on that. Yeah. That's unbelievable. For those of y'all that don't know what a 4% deal is, gross rents are 4% of the purchase price.
Yep.
So typically we use the 2% rule to.
Yeah, some guys are doing 1% rule, which I could never do. Not smart guys, but I see.
No. Like, you know, in a tight market like this, it's a different bet. They're betting on appreciation, and it's a different bet. Yeah. I mean, you like me probably started off where appreciation, you know, appreciation at $1 and you can buy a Coke. It's like appreciation plus $1, and we can buy a Coke. I can't bet on appreciation because interest rates rise and your appreciation goes down. It's a gamble I can't take.
I came in 07.
Yeah, like,
they were doing appreciation every month, and all of a sudden it all went down. So
and they lost their shirt.
Yeah, so I'm very particular on that kind of stuff.
It's one of the things that whenever I look at this stuff, I see a lot of different strategies. I don't knock any of them because I always say this: you don't never know what your buyer's going to see in it. So until you introduce it to the marketplace, you don't really know what's going to happen.
And that's true because also, I mean, some of the times we do these deals and our cash flow might not even be that high. Like we have one that we did. Our cash flow's like break even right now, but it'll be paid off in a year.
Oh, yeah.
Like free and clear in a year. So we put our payment up high for a year, it'll be paid off.
Get it free and clear. Same way. Like that's what I think about whenever we're making the interest-free offer. So it's, we go from 180 days or 180 equal payments, 180 months to 60 months. Now the debt servicing goes up, but it's 100% to principal. So you might be cash flow negative even, but if you've got a portfolio and it's a really good deal and
it's one of a portfolio.
And it's one of a portfolio, you can be cash flow negative or you can break even every month on one, own it in 5 years, and then take all of your money. It's that long vision down the road of I'm playing this 20-year game, not this day one game. It's different from the appreciation game where they're looking way down the road, but it's real speculative. Yep. I'm like, no. I'm definitely gonna pay this place off. Yep. And it's definitely still gonna rent because let's face it, in a down economy, everybody's renting. When it happened in 07, what was that like? Kind of tell the people that wasn't a part of it. Obviously, the way I look at it, our economy wasn't that bad where I was, so I didn't see it. Was there a bunch of vacant houses? Was there,
And I was in Michigan again. So I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which was this is the west side of the state. So 07, when I came in, my first house I sold was to an investor.
Okay.
He was doing what I'm doing now, buying homes and sort of finance. He had about 300 of these. In Michigan, they're called land contracts.
Land contracts.
That's what you call it. It's the same exact thing, but they're called a land contract.
Right. It's like a contract for deed.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what it is. So a lot of guys were doing that, or guys were flipping, and overnight, it just the draw them bopped out, So the main thing that happened that I saw is a lot of vacants because when you have a commercial line of credit,
right,
and a crash happens, the banks they call those loans. So guys' loans are getting called, their loans are getting frozen, money's getting dried up. So a lot of the stuff was vacant. There was foreclosures being, explode onto the market, daily, So
that's crazy. There's another gentleman that comes in here that was talking about all the notes being called. It's my fear. Like everybody asks, what are you worried about in a down economy? I'm worried they're going to call my notes. Mainly because when there's a run on the banks, they need money. So they start calling notes.
I saw it firsthand, and especially local banks, smaller banks.
Right.
They get a run on them. They don't have as much money in their reserves.
Right.
They start calling notes. And I saw it happen to a lot of my investors.
So,
and so what happened though was the guys that had cash, it actually was good for me because
right,
it was on sale. They were buying 30, 40. I was selling 200 homes a year as a realtor. Making $1,000, $1,500 commission because these are small deals.
Right.
And that happened up until about 2010. That's how it was. But then what people understand is the next part of the crash happens when there's no money. The only guys with money are the big fish who are very, very, very strategic in what they buy, or they're buying tapes, which was like bulk packages.
Right.
But then the banks loan nothing. From 2010 to 2012, 13 is when it was I couldn't even sell any homes. That's when it got tight.
See, that's crazy to me because like my ride, I was in the oil field, so like 2009, I was laid off. I was selling tabletop advertisement, which is just, it's whatever. Michael Jackson died. I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's how I remember when he died. That's how 2009, June 25th, 2009, I was just sold an ad to a chiropractor and come out and turn on the radio and Michael Jackson's dead. I'm like, damn, what happened? Why is it got to be like this right now? But so that was my experience, but heck, in 2010, I was back balling. I was back $150,000 a year job. It was like a check.
You were back
for
to
me.
real estate, or you were back?
No, I was back to oil field. But
Gotcha.
I didn't get into real estate until I bought my first house in 2012, but it's personal residence. So there's no, I didn't get it until 2015. But back then, we were really insulated from it. At least in my small world, we were really insulated from the crash. So when I hear people talk about it, and especially we're basically the same age, but you've got, you were in for 07, and that experience of going through that makes your investment strategy just I'm not gonna say rock solid, but
No, we all make mistakes. If you're doing this, you're gonna make a mistake. I try not to, and I have a lot of knowledge now that helps me evaluate every deal.
Right.
You know, and I haven't seen it complete. I've seen the market go down and up.
Right.
And I'm kind of waiting for it to
go back
down again.
Which is why you're doing the seller finance strategy on the purchase, because you don't have to worry about them calling. Well, I don't know. I mean, do you write? Do they write the terms?
I write the terms.
So yeah, there's
no way. Yeah,
they can't.
I write all my terms. Most sellers don't even know what it is until you tell them that, you know. So they don't know what it is. So when I tell them that, they're like, oh, I can still get a monthly payment per month, but I don't have to pay taxes or insurance or
deal repairs.
I'll keep that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep that.
It's an easier offer to make on a landlord, tired landlord.
Exactly.
Real easy offer. For somebody that needs money, that needs to get out of town, probably not going to get that offer across unless you can find out what their actual walking number is. If they need $10,000 to get away, you know, and you think it's a really good deal, got a lot of equity, maybe you do that. But so talk a little bit about the note side. You said earlier that you don't buy the property, but you establish a note. How does that transaction look?
So let's say I get a wholesale lead that comes in.
Okay.
We negotiate a price, and it's a good price that I know I can buy it as a wholesale property and wholesale it. But my first thought...
Time out. Guys, share this into Roughneck Real Estate, the group. Share this into other groups. Get this, because this strategy that he's about to talk about is something that whenever we chopped it up, you know, we all know Jamie in Roughneck Real Estate, he doesn't, but Jamie is like a walking law book. I mean, he talks about this all the time, but it's like French. This is... What he's about to explain to you is something that if you have it in your arsenal,
toolbox,
in your toolbox, that you can go out and make a lot of money. You're going to look at all those little $10,000 deals that you didn't do and realize you could have really, really made some money on those. So start over, share the stream. Go ahead. I interrupted you, Jorie.
No
start
problem.
over. Go ahead.
So basically, like I said, I start with wholesaling. So I'm wholesaling, deal comes in. I get the deal accepted at a price that makes sense for me to wholesale it.
Right.
That means I see a spread and there's an assignment fee. But my first thought is, can I find a seller financing buyer in the back end for this property, right? So let's say I get it for $25,000.
Okay.
And I find a seller financing buyer in the back end who'll pay $50,000 with 10% down.
$2,500 or $5,000
down.
Yep.
Their balance is $45,000.
And you're down to only having $20,000 in the deal.
Exactly, because that down payment, if I go buy that down payment is part of what I'm going to pay for the property.
That's
right? So what I do is then I go, okay, I got this, end buyer, and I already know I have a note buyer who will pay up to 80% loan balance value.
Loan balance value.
Yes.
So explain what loan balance value is for those that are like me.
So loan balance value is what is left in your loan after you put your down payment down, right?
So $45,000.
So $45,000 is the loan balance value. They get the price is $50,000. You're putting $5,000 down. Now that $5,000 down goes to me.
All right.
I keep that. All right. So their balance is $45,000. My note buyer, so I know, will pay up to 80% of that $45,000, which is like $36,000.
So you picked up a property for $25,000. Now you're selling the loan balance for $36,000 and picking up $5,000 down. So you're at $41,000 minus $25,000, $16,000.
$16,000
on a lick.
And the power is, I never buy the house.
Yeah. No.
I sell that end deal to my note buyer. He buys the house that closed, and then he sells it that same day to his land contract buyer, so the financing buyer. I take the fee.
Do you incorporate an RMLO in this to qualify the end buyer, or because Frank Dodd comes into play at some point if you're doing more than one? So if your note buyers at the end has done more than 3 or more than 5, there's a SAFE Act and there's Frank Dodd. And
you have to go on to that. You have to have a servicer in place.
Right.
We actually do all the pre-approvals for the buyers up front.
Okay.
And then if they're pre-approved per our note buyers' terms, we go through with that. And then we hand them off to the servicing. I don't do any servicing, but we have servicing companies who they use.
Who's the servicing company you use?
Oh, who's the one they use right now?
We use August REI. Mixed reviews, and then there's Allied.
We were using
Grant Kemp was going to start one. I don't know if he ever did. I don't know. Did he get one going?
I know we use Quest. Quest IRA is the company we use to handle, because mostly just self-directed IRAs.
Right.
All right, and then they have the servicing company that they use for that part.
Right.
Which I forget the name right now.
Now, look, note servicing companies. There's a couple local here in Dallas that a lot of local people are going to. An attorney owns it. I don't know the name of it, but it's a hard business, man. I'm like, you're making $35 a month, and you're sending 20-day notices and doing all this different stuff. it don't seem worth it to me.
No, I would
But
never do it.
If Grant Kemp's going to fire that thing off, good for you, Grant. You go, Grant. you make that money, dude.
Give me your contact info. I'll bring you some deals.
Yeah, I mean, but that is the essential part. Now, they're rewriting the laws in the Texas legislature right now. They actually had some input into that. Grant and them went down, met with the legislation, and having a servicer on every owner finance transaction is probably going to be part of that law. I think. I know that it's what was being discussed. It's something that needs to happen because it protects the end buyer. You know, if there's a lot of old men out there that, you know, all of a sudden they start losing your payment and want their house back, it's like you don't have a leg to stand on if you know you didn't do it, and so that bleeds over into the actual owner finance business where they're like, oh, you're a scam artist. You know what I mean? From the end buyer's point of view.
And well, you say that when I first got into real estate in 2007, a lot of scams were being done with seller financing. So when I would hear land contract in 2007, I automatically had a negative thought about it as a realtor because it was like every time I hear about this, somebody's getting screwed, you know?
Right.
And, you know, so it wasn't until down the road where it became a part of my business model where when the market crashed and there were no more deals being, so I got into doing this when the market like went to zero, like 11 and 12.
Right.
It was the only way I could sell houses was those buyers we would find, get them into a house that's already a rental or something, and do it like that. And then I realized that, okay, it's not a scam if you just do it the right way, you know? So we use title companies on every deal. You know, we use the title company for the buyer and the seller side. You know, not always, but most of the time we get title insurance on it too.
That's right.
You know, to make sure. Now, when I'm doing these, there's no more, it's not subject to. These are all free and clear.
That's awesome. We're going to come back right after a break. We're going to chop this up. Guys, share this stream. Jorie's dropping a lot of value. You're talking to somebody that's been in real estate for a lot longer than I have. He's got a ton of knowledge on the note side of things. He's also virtual wholesaling, which has its own set of challenges. We're going to get into that. Big Spoon just walked in. He's going to help us get a computer or something fired up so we can do some cold calling. So we're going to dive into a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back after this.
The Propelio Academy, an all-in-one education resource for training in wholesales, subject to wraps, short sales, flips, rentals, BRRRR, property management, and more. Go to propelio.com/academy to get your scholarship today. Propelio.com. What does Propelio offer? Lead generating websites, access to true MLS comps, off-market lead lists, and deal alerts. Get them all today at propelio.com.
So if y'all want to know what happens during commercial breaks here at Propelio, what's your Insta, Ryan Harper?
Ryan S. Harper.
Ryan S. Harper?
Yes, sir.
It's not. I figured it would be fluffy sexy. So can we get enough likes, hearts, and shares to get you to change it to fluffy sexy? Sexy fluff?
How many
Come
we
on,
need for
something.
that? How many we need for that?
Yeah, how many likes, how many shares on this stream before we can get you to change?
All of them.
All of them. But go check it out. Instagram Live. If y'all don't know about it, we're new to it and it shows. So we're talking about kind of the stigma on owner finance. You're also into virtual wholesaling. It has a stigma for me. When I hear about it, it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Virtual wholesaling?
Yeah, because it seems like everybody's just a daisy chainer. I'm like, I don't know you. Like, you're just trying to.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get my own deals sent back to me, and I'm like,
I get that all the time. Ask my wife. It's
Yeah.
funny. Like they text me, they email me. I'm like, you realize I just emailed this to you
yeah, like
half an hour ago.
It's kind of the game what it's become. So how do you build that? How do you build that team? How do you build that system? Do you have boots on the ground? Obviously, you can do the marketing remotely.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I definitely don't do daisy chains. So any deal that I market, I'm direct to seller. We have a contract for an assignment, or it's a JV deal.
Are you still a licensed agent? Yes,
I am.
no.
I'm
Okay,
licensed
awesome.
in Florida. I'm licensed in Michigan. Yeah, that's it right now.
Okay.
I think.
Well, but you were talking about doing some deals with some guys out of Arizona. So you've done a lot of different states.
I've done a lot of different states. I've sold homes to people from Russia, from Vancouver, from Israel.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan during the crash was like the top state in the country where out-of-state investors would come in and pour their money in. Funny thing, it's again now that way too, because Detroit is blowing up big time. Everyone I talked to is buying Detroit. But so I had a lot of connections. I was one of those guys who like these guys do seminars and sell homes back in the 2008, 9s. They would come to me for the deals.
Oh, awesome. So how do you build that team out? Like right now, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I worked in Pennsylvania when I was in the oil field. If I remember correctly, it's kind of like down to the bottom right. It's like the flat part of Pennsylvania.
It's southeast.
Yeah,
corner.
it's like the bottom right of the state.
Yep.
So how do you go about who's your boots on the ground?
So it happened naturally. So when I moved to Miami from Michigan, of course I had roots in Michigan already.
Okay.
And I was wholesaling in Michigan before I left. So I basically just partnered with someone there that I had trust in, an investor of mine who I could trust, who knew the game, kind of taught them the game, what to do with. So now I'm in Miami doing all the back end stuff, the marketing stuff, the phone calls. They're the ones doing the appointments. They're the ones taking pictures, taking video.
Do they make the offer or do you make the offer?
In Michigan, those guys actually can make the offer because they know the market.
Okay.
In Pennsylvania, I make all the offers.
Okay, cool.
And also, but in Michigan, I usually am the one that negotiates too, So in Pennsylvania, it actually happened because I'm from Harrisburg. I went to high school there. And so my number there, I've been trying to tell my friends and family to invest in real estate for years.
I've been trying to tell y'all too.
years.
Like, my friends are probably watching. They're probly trolling the comment section right now.
Yeah, the ones who aren't investing yet, you better start investing.
Yeah, like they won't listen. We get on this and complete stranger like, oh man, I got my first deal locked up. Bro, that could have been you, but you like every like. It's funny what the expectation is.
Yeah, I've been telling my friends and family for a long time, because nothing feels more better than that duplex I told you about. I bought that with two of my friends in Harrisburg.
That's awesome.
I started showing them the game last August. So it took about 6 months to get our first deal, and then we bought that deal.
Well, where'd that lead come from? Driving for dollars or mailer?
That lead came from a mailer. Yep.
Awesome.
For direct mail. Came from direct mail.
Do you do your own direct mail? You use somebody?
We actually do our own.
Yeah, when I was handwriting my own letters, Propelio list, by the way, if y'all don't have a subscription to Propelio, go sign up right now, because when I first got started, when I found out about Propelio and the appointment of substitute trustee list, I would sit down every day at lunch and write 100 letters to all the appointment of substitute trustee.
That's Jackie, she's seen it.
in the state of Texas that Propelio provided. Every single day, that's the only way I would buy my lunch. And that's where our business actually changed. Finding out that one little appointment of substitute trustee is like the pre-foreclosure. It's when they're changing out the trustee on the deed of trust. On a land contract, I don't know if that's a judicial shade. I don't necessarily understand the difference because
every state has
Texas.
different. Yeah, you understand that exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But when they're moving that trustee, that original trustee off the deed of trust and putting the one on that's going to handle the foreclosure, that's what the appointment of substitute trustee is. If you're doing that in Texas, if you just handwrite those letters every day in Texas, you're going to get deals. Period. You can do it with just the Propelio list. I promise you, because everybody knows when you get mail, if it's handwritten,
yeah, if it's handwritten,
you're opening it.
If it's handwritten, now we do both. We do postcards, but we do handwritten too. My one daughter actually does the address on the envelope.
That's it. There it is.
She loves it. She's getting paid to do that right now.
Dude, awesome. Shout out. What's her name?
Indy. My daughter, Indy.
Indy, I hope you're watching. If you are, share it.
Shout out Corey, too, her friend. Her best friend comes over and does it with her.
Spelled like me? Or
How's Corey spelled? K or C? C.
Oh, yeah. What's up? Like, how's it going? You should share it, too. Be like, this Corey's just as cool as I am. Maybe. You're probably cooler.
They listen to BTS. I don't know if you know what that is. Your daughter's a little young, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Is that bad?
Let's not go down.
Yeah, listen, they have an army. That's all I know. There's an army.
Oh, man. My bad.
So my virtual wholesaling, is kind of organic because where I'm at, I either have people who I can teach and I trust there, or ex-partners or investors who become partners with me.
I got you.
And then we go 50-50, because my thought is I'll do 50-50 in 8 markets. People complain about partnerships sometimes. I don't get
it either.
Okay, you don't get 100%, but if you do that with enough people,
it's a Walmart. It's like hey, it's an abundance mentality versus scarcity.
Exactly.
I would rather make 100 $5 bills than I had make one $200 bill.
And that's what I mean.
It's like what
when you do it with people who you are cool with, who you get along with, it makes it even more fun.
It does. And look, you're looking for somebody in that partnership that brings something to the table that you don't. You know what I mean? A lot of people try to partner with somebody just like them, and it's like then you're in a dog fighting match all the time. It's like, And
that's what happened. I actually got into it because a guy from Arizona got me into wholesaling in Michigan. He was in Arizona. He was doing all the marketing and everything else. I was the man on the ground. And so when I left, I said, I'm going to keep doing this, but I'm just going to do this in other parts of the country. But our partners, I wasn't a partner with him. It was
Right.
like he wanted to pay me the 10, 15% acquisition manager fee,
Awesome.
which I'm an investor myself.
No,
so.
I know. I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
like I see that a lot. And Big Spoon's part of our team. We split stuff with him 50-50. It's a better, it's just
It's a better model long term. He's gonna
oh,
want to
yeah.
work for you more when it's like, okay, I'm not out here just grinding for $1,000 and
No.
$10,000.
Well, and for me, it like we bring different things to the table. I'll go find the money 24/7. Like it's it's a strength of mine. I'll help him negotiate the deal down to a price that we can get to if he'll just run the appointments. We fired that marketing yesterday so we could do the calls today. We had to bump it up, obviously, so we're a little bit behind. But
Yeah.
but anyways, we did that marketing, and it's like we're going back and forth, and he doesn't have to worry about that marketing cost. It's we've got rentals, we've got passive income, so we can afford marketing every single month, even if we don't convert any of that marketing into a deal. So it works out really good for all of us.
That's how we are too. I mean, a lot of people I'm helping out, they're just getting into the game of real estate.
That's it.
And of course, wholesaling is the way to get in right away.
Awesome.
I want them to be. I always say, be an investor, not a wholesaler. Because too many people are just trying to be a wholesaler, and I've done that. I mean, running ragged, just you need some other income, residual income. So wholesale to get money to buy homes some way, to get residual income, and keep wholesaling along the way. But I can help them out because I know how to market and I have the funds to market.
That's it.
And I'm teaching them how to go out there, do appointments.
The negotiation. Negotiation's hard. We talked about this just before I came in here. You can get all the leads in the world. Can't negotiate, ain't gonna do you much good. You know
nothing,
what I mean?
Yep.
So
It means nothing.
The only way you learn to negotiate though is by doing it. But having them go into the house, try to negotiate, and then getting on the phone with you, and then you getting it down.
Yeah, we use CallRail for our call system right now.
Okay.
So like they listen to my calls. Hey, listen to how I am on the phone.
Right.
Pick it up because now maybe you guys do some cold calling too. So
Right, we do.
Yep. So that's we kind of do that.
And then you get to listen to their calls as well.
That's the best part.
And say, hey,
you missed this, or
right
this is
here.
a deal. Like you don't know this is a deal, but this is a good deal. So let's
right.
go.
You talk past the cell here. Should have been quiet there. Like all that kind of stuff.
Yep. So we use CallRail. Some systems we use. We use Google Drive. They take pictures, upload to Google Drive. I have it right there. I view it. We use HubSpot for CRM, but I'm gonna talk to you guys about.
What's a HubSpot? Anybody know what HubSpot is? I know what Pornhub is.
I'm like the only one who uses it still, but
no,
I don't know what Pornhub is.
You're lying. You're lying. But it don't matter. So what we're gonna do is we talked about cold calling. Big Spoon, do we have the ability to cold call? Do we have the ability? Maybe? No?
I think so. We got a microphone?
Oh, man. So what we're going to do is, I don't know where we're at on breaks. We can probably take an extra one. We're going to set up, and me and Jorie are going to jump on some cold calls. So what we did yesterday, and I'll explain this to y'all too, we ran out. I drove for dollars yesterday on the way home. So I left the event. I was going to go look at a deal that we have locked up that I haven't seen yet. Big Spoon's our partner. We can say that now because we got LLCs
Partners.
and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, you guys legit now.
Yeah, we legit. What'd you go say, Big Spoon?
Do you want to listen to these voicemails first?
Hey, we'll listen to them on the stream right here.
So these are inbound calls that we're calling back? Or?
So what we did was we dropped ringless voicemails. We built out $1. I'm going to kind of show it to you because we don't know how to run it yet. Jason knows how to run it to a certain extent, but we've got to get a lot better at it, right? So every now and then when I finally get a free space in the office, like yesterday evening when I got back, I drove for $, got me a couple of hundred driving for $, leads.
Couple of hundred. So how long were you driving for $?
Not long. I got the driving for $, app. So
Got you.
300 on
So
Friday.
yeah,
That's awesome.
so we're gonna go to break real quick. They're gonna set it all up, and we're gonna come back and kind of explain what we did to get these hopefully hot leads into the system. This is gonna be a real treat. Share the stream right now. Share it in every group. We'll be right back.
The Propelio Academy, an all-in-one education resource for training in wholesales, subject to wraps, short sales, flips, rentals, BRRRR, property management, and more. Go to propelio.com/academy to get your scholarship today. Propelio.com. What does Propelio offer? Lead generating websites, access to true MLS comps, off-market lead lists, and deal alerts. Get them all today at Propelio.com.
We are back. So, Spoon coming across camera.
I'm like a gazelle. I'm graceful.
Ooh, that was good. Did y'all see that? That's the fastest Big Spoons ran in a long time. So what we did yesterday, and I wish we could screen share this, but we didn't have time to get it set up because we bumped up from 5 o'clock. We've got $1 now. We're still in the testing phase. So
This dollar's on Propelio?
no, not yet. But y'all got one coming out, right? Possibly, maybe. If not, what we'll do is we will get one set up. We don't know when we'll have this available, if we ever make it available, because we don't know how. Well, we've got to get it. There's a lot of training that goes into it.
How you doing, man?
Yeah,
Jason, nice to meet you,
Big
sir.
Phil.
So
You at the event, right?
No,
Okay,
So-
I got too many babies to come to the event.
he was logging up a deal.
was.
Yeah. So we should have rang the bell,
How many
but I
babies
didn't
you
ring the
got?
bell.
I got
So
5, I beat you.
we're gonna listen.
God bless you.
We're gonna listen to these voicemails from the Driving for Dollars leads from yesterday. We haven't listened to these yet, have we? Spoon?
No. I haven't listened to them, and there's no telling what's in here. It could be some death threats.
No, it's your wife's voice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's
I
see what
mean-
happens. Let's see. Let's give it a go. Let's see what these voicemails sound like.
So I've always heard, too, you use a wife's voice because it's more appealing, correct?
So the way we do it is, it's kind of hard to explain. Whenever we get the data, it's in Excel, and you've got different rows of phone numbers. So we use a woman's voice because we obviously don't want to get too harsh of a voicemail. But the way we record the voicemail is the same message, but it's different for each row. Because one phone number might be the same in row 3 as it is here, and having to sit there and try to get all that data out is too time consuming. So if I drop a different voicemail to every row, then it says the same thing, but it's a different voicemail. Same voice, and it'll go something like this. It'll say, hey, I was driving around, thought maybe you might want to sell your house. Please call me. The other voicemail will say, today I was in my car, drove by your house, wondered if you might want to sell. It's the same message, but we don't do it aggressively. It's not like, raw. It's a little bit confused, a little bit passive. And the reason why is we don't want to get sued. We don't want to end up in trouble. We don't want, there's a loophole here. We're not trying to sell anything. So, we think that we can do this legally. We've been told that we can do it legally, but we don't want to end up in a
I like the
situation.
disclaimer they put up there.
Oh,
We are not attorneys.
we are not attorneys. So, anyways, we don't want to end up in trouble, but we don't want to trip. And this isn't direct mail. You don't do it 5 times to get a response.
No, you're trying to get.
It's basically when we do ringless voicemail. Now we have all of our numbers scrubbed to what the good numbers are. That whenever we call them, we know that that's a good number and somebody might answer. So that's why we got the $1. Witherspoon, can we play voicemails right now?
Are you on the button so we don't accidentally dox anybody today?
We'll dox them.
No, that's not cool, man. I'm too nice.
He just don't want to give up a lead. He's like,
That's true too.
like,
My babies are hungry, bro.
I'm a virtual wholesaler, I'm like.
You try to buy formula. That stuff's expensive.
This is 903-65.
Let's move that one down a little bit.
see how this goes. Going to see what comes up.
I do not wish to sell my property and do not call again.
She's very unhappy about it.
No, it takes like 8 of those to get a deal. Just so you know, I have a scale for it. In my market.
I do not wish to sell my property.
So
And that was nice.
we were trying to streamline our organization here a little bit and get all this into one deal. So,
Thank you.
I'm just going to tag them as we go, so it'll automatically load our dialer.
Monday morning and yelled at?
Hold on. Where's the speaker at?
I don't know. I can't find. Where's the speaker on this, Trey?
Just keep going. Just keep playing.
That's those quick 1-1s.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity, Spoon. Put
That is
that
an
in the dollar.
opportunity.
Put that one in the dollar. We want to call that one back.
Oh man, I'm not using. This ain't my computer here. It's hard to work on somebody else's computer.
It is a little time consuming. That first lady that said, I do not want to sell my house. Don't call again. I want to call her.
We don't know that she doesn't want to sell. So if you do this game, you're going to get a lot of hang-ups. You're going to get a lot of static. I've had them just blast their speakers and hold it up to the speaker before. Death threats.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So what we're doing with the ringless voicemails, we're running through right now. Witherspoon is labeling these as either a laydown, which means if he labels it a laydown, it'll come back to me on a text on my phone and say, hey, call him right now.
Okay.
We handle that in-house. Everything else, all of this other is being labeled opportunity to go to a cold caller. Okay. So now we can give a cold caller access to our dollar, whether it be a single mom, an actual company, whatever that looks like.
It could be a single dad.
Could be a single dad. Whoever it is, they can sit there at home and call and get paid on their calls, not get paid by the hour. So it's all performance-based.
You're paying per calls with appointments?
Per calls, like their only job in this is to set an appointment.
Gotcha.
It's not to qualify the lead or do anything else.
Yep.
Once an appointment is set, we'll look at it. We'll use Propelio to pull comps. Mm-hmm. We'll look at it. We'll try to decide, where we need to come in at. We'll call them to verify the appointment. At that point in time, we know what it's worth. We might qualify them over the phone because we're a little better at that. Mm-hmm. And if we think there's an opportunity there, really and truly, I don't want to make any offers.
We have the same setup.
But I want to make all my offers in person because I can build that rapport and have a better chance. And then even if we don't get our offer accepted, we can get it to a real estate agent if we do that and still monetize it.
The only qualifying question I ever ask, and he almost never does any, is I just ask, do you have an idea of what you want to sell it for?
I don't even
and that's the only qualifying question.
I usually ask. You try to get that out of them, but that's because I'm sitting in Florida, and some of my guys are.
Oh yeah.
So I try to get a price and put it in our,
Well, it also lets you know if they're stuck on that Zillow number too.
Those estimates.
Sometimes that Zillow number can be good though.
Yes.
All right, let's hit the next one.
Depends on what part of the neighborhood you're in.
I am the resident at 300.
Let's just move
Let's
on.
call them back. That one sounded like it was about to go good.
They turn quick sometimes, Corey.
That one sounded like.
Thought about selling our house.
Thought about. That's good.
Let me know how much you were thinking.
Let's call that
I'll
one
talk
right
over with
now,
my
Spoon.
husband.
Let's call it. Jorie is on the hot mic.
She thought
Call them
about
back. They're thinking about selling their house. That's why you do ringless voicemail. That would be labeled a laydown.
Absolutely.
We have an address, right? See, text it. Let's text it to Ryan and get him to tell us what the comps say. Pull us a good Propelio comp. We're going to text this to the
So I
group.
get this deal, bro. 50-50?
Well, I mean, we can work something out. You know what I mean?
I'm not the cold.
It's like I was offering over the Pants Handies over the weekend, so there's definitely something on the table. I'm playing.
No.
Come on, listen.
I hung out with this guy for one night. Just know it was crazy. It was crazy.
It's daytime TV.
It was 2 nights.
It's daytime TV.
Yeah,
so we got to.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was fun. Lots of fun.
So this is one. I didn't know Corey was going to do this today.
No. We haven't.
Two. I'm not on my computer here.
We basically what he's saying is I don't know how to call this person back right now.
Well, I can. I mean, we can dial their number. I have their number right there.
We can dial it. I got my phone right here. Dial it in there, Big Spoon, and we'll put it on speaker, and we'll let Jorie take a crack at this.
You don't have to use a dialer from that computer.
Well, it has to.
No, I can't.
You have to label it.
Yeah.
The way we built this whole system so that what's the right way to put it? We could have somebody doing a job that nobody wanted to do in our shop, which is going through a ton of voicemails
and
to be
have
like probably a deal,
accountability.
probably not a deal, probably a deal.
And have accountability.
You know what? No, I do that. that sucks.
We want accountability because calling off a call rail can keep them accountable because you can listen to the recording, but it's too difficult.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have something that they could dial out of easily, but we could record it and listen to it.
Call rail or whatever you use, it takes time.
And granularity. So I can literally shrink this down so that somebody sitting behind a desk, all they can see is voicemail. They can't interact with them. They can't call them back.
And you created this?
I mean,
I needed you to come to Miami.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Here, dial the number, get Jorie on the phone.
Take a spoon to Miami. South Beach.
I don't think Mama's
Bring the
gonna be
4
okay
babies.
with it.
Bring the 4 babies.
Spoon. We have
And a
5.
wife.
We take kids too.
Bro.
You guys come down, hang out. My house is full. I coach football. My house is full of kids.
That's it.
My wife will be for it as long as we can get to the beach, man.
Yeah.
Spoon. Don't tell me you lost that number already.
No, dude. I'm sitting here. I can't even figure out this mouse. This thing's like magic. I clicked off the screen.
Dial it into my
While he's
phone.
doing
Here it
that.
is, right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna write it down though, so I don't lose it.
I guarantee you there's some super scientists out there that can tell what you're writing right now. Disguise your handwriting. Disguise your handwriting. Okay. I think we had a question. I love it. The term note investing confuses me. What exactly the difference in note investing and owner financing? Jorie, take that one.
They're basically the same thing. Owner financing is creating a note. So note investing means we're going to invest in the actual note, the underlying note. So when I say the same thing, it's because owner financing creates the note. When you invest in the note, you're actually buying the actual note, not the property. So if you're a note buyer, you're buying the note. You're becoming Chase Bank.
So right now I have a note on a house that somebody's paying me every month, $60,000. I could sell you that note. How much would you pay?
80% of that.
So 45 grand.
45 grand. The note might be at what?
Right.
A percentage interest rate?
10%.
10% interest rate, yeah.
So and at that point you probably got a 20% yield or 15% yield, which is he bought it for 45. Our monthly payments over time are giving him a yield that he is desiring.
Yeah, because I bought it at a discount, I'm going to get a higher yield than the actual interest rate on the note. And then, let's say I'm in Texas, I want to buy a home in Michigan. I'd rather buy it as a note because then I don't have to pay taxes, insurance, repairs. It's easier for me being out of state, long distance investor.
Right, and that's note investing 101. Yep. I can buy the paper. The other thing you can do with a note, a lot of people don't know, it's an asset, so you can hypothecate it, which means you can borrow money against it. You can sell off a portion of the
I didn't even know that was a word until I saw Jaime say it on your group.
Yeah. No. I mean, he put it out there, and it was like, man, that's
a lot of note buyers will only want to buy a portion of the note.
Right.
Buy a portion of the note.
That's it. So you can sell off, 100 payments on the note and take all your money at the end and get most of your cash back out of it. So if I buy a property for $10,000, I owner finance it for $45,000. I can sell $10,000 worth of payments, at a discount, and then I get paid.
Well, isn't that how we got into the crash in the first place? Because they chopped the notes up and sold,
Banks do it all the time, which is why I think due on sale clauses are real funny. I'm like, how many times y'all sold this note? You know what I mean?
So if you ask the question, if you have a mortgage in a home, you get a letter in the mail that says we're your new servicer or not the owner of your note.
Right.
That means the bank sold your note.
It happens all the time. All the time.
So all we do is we rather be the bank. We want to be Chase. We want to be, we want to be Wells Fargo. Whatever.
Right now we're Jorie, and we're on a cold call.
We cannot take your call right now. Please leave us your name, number, and brief message.
I've been at this event for 4 days. I haven't called anybody. Hey, Melissa, this is Jorie Aulston with Respected Home Buyer. I was just giving you a call about the property at...
Hold on, don't dox them. Give up that lead.
Yeah.
No. Call us back.
Hang up.
If they call back, y'all know it's hard to mess up. He was about to give the address to all of y'all.
Yeah.
And Jason...
I didn't write it down.
Oh, cool.
Jason was going to roll around.
I forgot. Yes.
Turns down the
I was like,
anytime there's like addresses or phone numbers, he turns it down.
thank gosh.
I shut it. I didn't write it down.
All right. Well,
I thought they were doxing already. That's why I did that.
Well, they're not.
Okay,
But let's see if we can listen to another one. Spoon, you got another one pulled up? Maybe.
Possibly.
The mouse is hard.
Look,
So
I'm not the smart. I'm not a precision instrument. I got big old Wreck-It Ralph hands, and
Wreck-It Ralph hands.
Wreck-It Ralph hands. I got Shrek fingers. Meaning I only got 4.
Let me ask you, so do you guys use a company name when you call them back?
I do not. No. In Texas, and this is something that I was thinking about,
Hello, someone from this number called regarding my property in Arlington, Texas,
He wants to
wondering
sell.
if I might be interested in selling. That's a possibility. I would appreciate a call back when you have a moment. 817-20.
I got it for you here.
we're gonna call him back. Now he says it's a possibility. It's in Arlington. Where are we at?
Arlington.
I'll go contract it right after.
Yeah, I mean Spoon might not be here.
We'll be in a foot race on the way out.
What's up, plane leave?
Oh, my face ain't gonna work on this phone. I don't know whose phone is.
Yeah, like, hey, he'll beat us all here. Oh, my password?
I will straight throw this mic off and just walk out the door.
Did you give his name?
Here you go. I would tell y'all my passcode to my phone. I dox myself.
This is
Colbert.
That's definitely Texas. Colbert.
Yeah. But I would just say, hey, man, my partner said you got a house for sale.
Yeah.
That's it.
Said you left a message.
Lisa Jones, can you repeat the best markets now for virtual wholesaling? I live in Kissimmee, Florida.
Well, the best markets are depending upon you. So, like right now, I virtual wholesale in Sarasota, Florida, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio, pretty much all of Michigan, and looking to get in some other parts of Florida. But again, I do it in those parts because I have people who I can trust on the ground. You know, so there is not one best market.
How do you build that trust with those people? Because is that overpants handy? Is that what that is? I mean, how do you?
We already went over that, Spoon. We already went over that.
My bad. I came in late.
You're coming to South. You come to Miami with us. You and the wife. And
and the kids, and the babies.
She'll be all for that.
We'll show everything.
We'd be a redneck extravaganza.
So Kaylee Ryan,
I have some there right now. My wife's cousin's there right now.
Brought the whole panhandle down with you.
Hey, if my wife's cousins come too, it's gonna be a party.
Kaylee Ryan, do you use only RVM or do you use Mojo Dollar to call a bunch of numbers at once? So, Roughneck the Real Estate Mastermind coming up this weekend in San Antonio. Shameless plug. We explained this process, and I'm going to explain it to you all right now. We use RVM first to get this lead right here out of the bunch, and then we turn it over and we will call through Mojo, which we built our own dollar. Anyways, we built our own dollar. You run it through RVM. You get the good out, and then
write your code on there.
You do both. Oh yeah. I'm writing my code down. Emery don't know that one yet, so.
Oh man.
No, she's.
I have to change mine on the regular. Those kids are sharp.
Those kids are savages. They will get in there and.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. So.
Then they change their code on their the devices you give them. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You can't change the code.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
watch out
Haven't
for
got to that
Yeah,
point
watch
yet.
out for
We're
that
going to
one.
be in a fist fight.
No more devices. So
right.
dial
Yeah,
that
you just
number.
take it away.
Let's see what Jorie can do with it. Let's see. We got the possibility. We're on a tight schedule today.
See that.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing today, sir? I'm giving you a call. You left a message with us about some interest in selling a home you have.
I'm sorry?
You had left a message with us about interest in selling one of the properties that you own.
Well, I only own one property, but
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I was just giving you a call back. I got your message. We wanted to give you a call back, kind of find out some information about the property and kind of see how we can help you out.
you guys may have already been and looked at it. I had someone here. Oh, I think it was last. No, it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it probably wasn't us. There's a lot of guys out there looking at homes. So yeah, it probably wasn't us. But we'd like to get a chance to come out and see it if we can. Like we're available, we're free, we can come out there ASAP today and kind of give you an idea what we can do.
This was a guy named Chris Robertson.
Yeah, I don't know Chris. That wasn't with our company, no. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well, we've gotten a pretty good idea. We were considering trying to sell the property because of its proximity to Cowboy Stadium, and we're looking to try and get away from the stadium and the traffic and the noise is the primary thing. What it is it's in reality probably would be more considered a commercial property. It's a two-story duplex.
Can we come out and look at it today?
Today really wouldn't be a good day. So I've had a couple of appointments today that have just really taken my time, and I've got to try and get a day's worth of crap done in half a day now.
So let me ask you, what's the next day and time that works best for you? Because we're free. We can come out there whenever it's available.
Tomorrow would probably be much better.
Tomorrow?
What time?
What time is you free tomorrow?
Pretty much any time after about 9:30, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock.
How about 11? 11? Does that work?
That'd work.
That'll work?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Property address is 1111 North
that's Arlington, correct?
Yeah, Arlington.
Got you. Okay. Cool. We will be there. We look forward to meeting you there tomorrow at 11. Either me or my business partner will be out there. We'll talk to you, look at the property, kind of see, what's going on with the condition. Actually, you know what? My partner Jason will come out there and meet you tomorrow. His name will be Jason.
All right.
All right. So yeah, we look forward to it, man. Definitely, we'll be out there. We'll give you an idea what we can do and help you out.
Take care.
All right. You have a good day.
What are the chances we can pull a Propelio comp on that deal right now? Spoon just leaves like right in front of every camera. He could have went that way.
No, man.
He's just
He's regular
ran to Travion's desk. He's like, Travion's like, I don't even have a Propelio subscription.
You know how much baby formula costs? You better stop.
Hey, he said multi-family.
I got
next to the stadium.
I got 9-month-old twins at the house.
They
got to eat.
Listen, when I got into the game, I had 3 kids and 1 on the way. So I know.
No, I went to get his code so I could log back into the computer.
Oh.
I'll go the other way.
Oh, man.
My bad.
That's so funny. Spoon's like, look this one up, Travion, right now. Like trying to mix and match and do actual work. No, I need a comp.
I was trying to get his code.
Guys, look, that I don't know that anything could win, but I think we've set some real appointments, some real bad ones. We had that travel trailer with that.
Well, I still haven't gotten a hold of the other guy.
The added on room.
I think you should highlight that that's all it is. Most
It's easy.
So scared.
Yeah. Listen, man.
And the other thing is, we didn't try to qualify that. There's a lot of reasons why we don't try to qualify it. One is we're 2 minutes away from it, so we can drive over there right now.
Exactly.
But when you start trying to qualify that, you're not going to get a chance to build enough rapport to possibly have a chance to get an offer accepted.
I say, you notice I don't talk a lot on the phone. I let them talk. I let them talk. You just listen. He told us everything. Why he doesn't want to be there. What kind of property it was. We don't know exact price yet, but we know he doesn't want to be on the stadium by the highway.
All I heard was Airbnb the whole time he was talking.
Oh, that's it. And
I heard by the stadium you want to leave. I'm like, this is my deal.
and then Jorie, you'd make an owner finance offer on that for sure.
In a heartbeat.
Because there's no need for cash up front right now.
Yeah, this is all about him just not wanting to be where he's at. So that's something that I can do with owner financing. And also, listen, owner finance it, then Airbnb it.
Okay. Oh man, and they probably have, but since it is a duplex, they probably understand the time value of money. They probably want that slow trickle. So, Jorie, plug how to get a hold of you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Aulston Group. It's TheAulston Group. I'm on Facebook at Jorie Aulston. They have my name up there, right?
Oh yeah.
Also shoot me an email, theaulstongroup@gmail.com. I answer every email, I answer every text, every call. Any questions on virtual wholesaling, any questions on note investing. You see we do a lot of different ways with it. Just creative financing in general. Reach out to us. I love to be able to talk to you guys.
Dude, I love it. I love that you came in here. We started, hitting it up. I was like, hey, Propelio's in Miami. If you're friends of his and you're in the Miami market, please get a subscription, $98 a month. I guarantee you, if you market their list in Miami, you're going to lock up deals. Nobody else is doing it. Spoon, where do people find you? You're Big Spoon.
Is this first time on the show?
_real estate. First time.
Okay.
First time, long time. It's Big Spoon _real estate on Facebook or Instagram.
Yep.
But for real, none of that matters. Y'all need to listen to what he just told you. He's offering to give you free advice, partner with you on these deals, and take them down. Do not pass up that opportunity if you don't have a partner to do stuff with.
I mean, I feel like I'm sitting next to an old G because anybody that was there before the crash can keep you, is going to be a little bit more reserved and all that. So, guys, I appreciate y'all's time. Of course, we're in Roughneck Real Estate, the group. That's the best place to find me. We're in there doing all kinds of stuff all the time. Join the group if you're not in there.
I'm
Ryan
in the group
Harper.
too. Ask questions in the group. I'm part of the group. So if you guys have questions in the group, ask them. I answer them.
Ryan Harper. How many shares do we got to get Big Fluffy Sexy as your Instagram name? Come on. All of them.
Every share.
That means how many we get.
Every share on the planet.
On the planet.
And he'll be Big Fluffy.
Can we get Max Maxwell in on this?
I'll go. Just
billion shares on the stream. And I've got to get a tattoo from Daniel Chad Moore. Viewer's choice might be a butterfly tramp stamp. I don't know. I don't know what.
It's going to be Justin Bieber if I have my way.
It's probably going to happen on this table, but we're going to end up getting a tattoo, getting some ink done in here because of the stream with Max Maxwell. So I appreciate y'all coming out. I appreciate your lovely wife for being so patient with us. And I don't know what's coming on next on Propelio, but tune in, share the stream.
Quest Trust 7 p.m. Central.
When is it?
Quest Trust 7 p.m. Central tonight.
Quest tonight, 7 p.m. Tune in, get your subscription. This costs money.
Hey, these are great guys, man. Go check out Propelio for sure. I'm on it right now. As soon as we get done, I'm gonna come talk to you guys about it right now. So
Awesome. Appreciate it. We'll see y'all later.
Propelio TV is sponsored by Noble Mortgage and Investments, CreativeCashflow.com, and Lifeonaire.
Hey everybody, I'm Ryan with Propelio. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. Turn on those notifications and stick around for more. We have tons of content like this all over our channel. So if you want to learn more about real estate investing, stick around, watch Propelio TV, and we'll see you later.